Earlier I promised a video to show my setup. It's not real fancy or complicated, but it solves my particular set of problems. Namely, I don't have a lot of space. I don't have a garage or a shop. I don't have a van or a trailer to work out of. And my apartment is very small. And it's full of stuff, so that limits me to the bare minimum of space I can use and still get the job done. So I'm going to just show you how I address those problems. Okay, to begin with, this is really nothing special. It's a toolbox on wheels with a telescoping handle, and it's like I said, nothing special. And the only reason I bought this particular one was because it was significantly less expensive than the other options. By significantly, I mean, and I don't remember the exact price, but it was at least $50 and up to over $100 cheaper than other alternatives. And also nothing special, but I've just got a rolling stool. It cost about $100. It's very comfortable. It's got heavy duty wheels, and I'm a heavy guy, and this thing holds me up. The height is adjustable, and it stays where you put it, which in my experience is kind of unusual, especially at my hefty size. But the heart of my system is this tabletop that I built for it, and I'll get into more detail about that shortly. Okay, I've got plenty of room in the boxes. I actually have my Okami Gold in the bottom box, but pretty much everything I'm going to use in a salon will fit in the open top box, and I'm going to remove that and set everything up just so you can see what I do. It's locked. You just depress this button and it'll come off, but the three boxes lock to each other, so it's very stable. So in the middle drawer I have some of the other things that I may need in the shop. These are my Okami clamps. I got a screwdriver kit. I've got some hair in there and a little microscope. And the screw tool for pliers. And here in the bottom, you can see there's plenty of extra room. I've got a spare extension cord. The primary extension cord I use is this one, and it lives in the second box. I have room in this bottom box to put my work sharpener. Okay, so my tabletop started out life as just a single piece of plywood, but I made it, I hinged it in the middle so I could store it right here. And it worked out pretty well. The original one was thicker plywood. It barely fit until I put the drawer lining on it, and then it wouldn't fit back here. And it was quite a bit heavier, so I got 1/2-inch plywood, hinged it in the middle, and it worked great. But when I had stuff loaded on it, it would still hinge up. So I added these clamps to make it more stable. And then I have another little clamp I can clamp it to. I mean, I put it over here out of the way. I really don't need that, but you know, in a high traffic area, I might want to clamp it in case somebody bumps into it. I don't want my machine falling on the floor and perhaps getting damaged. And like this, there's really no problem with you know, with the flat home. You know, you're not putting out much dust, and most of that's captured in the guard. But if I use the twice as sharp, I'm sorry, the work sharp, the belt sander, it puts out quite a bit more dust. And if I'm doing it in my home, I don't want all that dust going everywhere. So what I decided was I would make a shield. So the first thing I did, I just repurposed an old t-shirt, and I got a little plastic rod here, and I can just drape it, but of course I want everything secure, so I can just put these clamps on it to keep it in place. And if I work from the middle, none of that stuff's going to go anywhere. And then while I'm in whatever place I'm working, when I'm done, I can fold this up, and when I get outside, I can shake it out. The only problem is this rod doesn't fit anywhere securely. So I had the idea of getting a collapsible rod that could collapse short enough to fit in one of the boxes or in the top box. But when I thought about it more, I really don't even need a rod because I'm just going to work here. So I can just clamp it. And the clamps are handy. You can hang belts on there. I hang my my magnifying glasses. Because I use these frequently while I'm sharpening. They're on and off all the time. Okay, I apologize if you couldn't see the clamps before, but you know, they're just cheap spring clamps, very handy. I'm actually going to set up right now so I can do some sharpening. And you'll start to see a theme here. I have a lot of lights and a lot of magnifying devices because I'm getting old and my eyes are getting bad. So I need light and I need magnification. And you'll see I've got this magnifying glass slash LED lamp. This thing is a lifesaver for me. It's telescoping or articulated, and it really lights up my table, and I just got it and I love it. Okay, so I've got my table laid out. This is pretty much everything I need to do sharpening outside of the home. The stonework, when I'm at home, I have a sink bridge, so I put the stone in that and do it over the sink. But of course I don't have that option in the salon, so I do it right here next to the home. I've recently begun disassembling the shears over this little baking pan so I don't lose the stuff. God help me if I lose a clicker plate or a screw head or something, and so I very deliberately do it over this just so I don't lose stuff. Water, alcohol, toilet paper for testing. I got this little basket here. Anything like this, of course, can become the equivalent of your junk drawer at home, so I try not to put everything in there. And like I said, this lamp and magnifying glass helps light up the whole table. Plus I have the magnification available if I need it. And it just clamps on. There's a little base clamp, and you just sit it in there, and like I said, I love this. And I'm actually about to start sharpening. I have about 7 sets of shears to do right now. So that's it. It's pretty simple, but it is very effective for me. I'd appreciate any comments, critique, suggestions, and I'll try to maintain feedback. Thank you.